live. You feel me? We're about to go ahead and hop right into it in just momentarily. I'm gonna give a huge shout out to the Most High for giving these amazing downloads, dropping this amazing good information on me. I'm also giving a shout out to myself as well for wanting to receive this good information and give out this good information as well. I'm also giving a shout out to everyone to y'all. Y'all literally take energy out of y'all's day to come rock with me. Show love, support, feel me. Appreciate y'all, man. I love y'all so much. I love always deeply. I'm also sending good positive energy, good positive protection, good positive healing, and good positive energy towards everyone always deeply. Also, if you want to book a one-on-one consultation with me, just DM me on my Instagram at humbleollie2 times. Excuse me. Now let's go ahead and get ready into the video, to the live, into the video. Now look, right. The truth about the Trinity, what they don't want you to know, right? So look, right. And this will be getting uploaded to my YouTube channel as well sometime today. Now look, right. With the Trinity, right? What exactly is the Trinity, right? The Trinity, the Trinity can be a lot of different things. The Trinity is a lot of different things, right? But one of the main things that the Trinity is for an example, I'll give an example of the Trinity. A woman and a man and a kid. That is a representation of the Trinity, right? Like I've said, if I haven't said it, I'm gonna say it now. There are multiple different forms of the Trinity, but one form of the Trinity is a goddess and a god, and then they have a kid. That is the Trinity. Why is that the Trinity? Because you have the masculine energy, you have the feminine energy, and you have the kid, right, which represents the Trinity. Another form of the Trinity, right, would be the what? It would be the Ankh. The Ankh is very known and it's very popular in ancient Kemet, not just in ancient Kemet, but it is very known in ancient Kemet. A lot of people don't know what ancient Kemet is. It is one of the original words, um, but a lot of people know it as Egypt. But ancient Kemet, right? And excuse me, with ancient Kemet, right? Ancient Kemet, they talk and they speak and they show you a lot about, etc., about the Ankh, right? And what exactly does the Ankh represent? The Ankh represents life, right? Um, Before I got into what I was getting into, I was actually thinking about getting a tattoo and having it be an Ankh. But now I'm not getting any tattoos anytime soon. I might not ever get a tattoo because I'm doing something else now. But, I love the Ankh. And the thing is with the Ankh, it represents life, right? So why does it represent life, right? If you pay close attention to the Ankh, it shows you the feminine energy, it shows you the masculine energy, and it shows you the kid, all right? It shows you, you know, the masculine energy is supposed to be going up, and the feminine energy is supposed to be going down, right? And, the Trinity is very imperative and it's very important, right? And, you know, our ancestors are very aware of energy in the Trinity, right? This isn't new, y'all. Like a lot of people who get tattoos, right? This isn't new. Our ancestors been getting tattoos, but when our ancestors were getting tattoos, it was a lot more professional. It was a lot more cleaner than what it is now. A lot of times now, you can get skin cancer, etc., from tattoos, etc., right? But our ancestors used to get tattoos all the time. Our tattoos used to glow up, etc. And with their tattoos, they wouldn't, when they was getting tattoos, they wasn't just getting just anything on their avatar, on their body. They was getting ancient things, spiritual things to help guide them, to help connect them, etc., to help connect them more, etc. So one of the things that a lot of our ancestors would tattoo on themselves is the Ankh, which represents life, which represents the Trinity, right? And like I said, there's multiple different versions of the Trinity, right? So the Trinity represents the feminine energy, the masculine energy, the kid energy, etc. It represents life, right? If you look at the Trinity, it has the man private part, it has the woman's womb, etc. Right? And the thing is that when you are tattooing yourself, right? I think I made a video a while ago talking about this. When you are tattooing yourself, right, you are putting energy on you. You can put curses on yourself by tattooing yourself. And also, if you are tattooing yourself, if you are tattooing people on you, especially people who have already transcended or who have died, those people, you might start to see those people like a lot, like because it's on your avatar, it's on your body. So since you're seeing it so much, right, you also might start to you also might start to um, hallucinate or whatever, and you may actually start to see a spirit version of them. I'm not gonna sit here and say, I mean, maybe hallucination, but when you're hallucinating, you're not necessarily There's no such thing as hallucination. It's just you're on a different frequency, right? Like right now, it's spirits all around me, but if I'm not on a certain frequency, if you're not on a certain frequency, you're not gonna see the spirits, right? It's spirits all in my house. I'm very divinely protected. I have energies all around me, right? But if I'm not on a certain frequency, if we're not on a certain frequency, we're not gonna see the beings, right? It's kind of similar with ghosts. Ghosts are real. Ghosts is this thing where it's a soul, but it's not in a body. In other words, it is not an avatar, right? This is why if you look at movies, a lot of ghosts, they be in these haunted houses, um, and they be like trying to scare like the people in the houses or whatever, right? But why? Because a lot of times these ghosts, they want a body, they want to be in a body, but because of karmic debt, right? What is karmic debt? Karmic debt is basically where they have to pay a certain debt. In other words, they did something in their past and now they're paying the debt for it. They're paying the reward for it. So that might have came with, okay, in your next lifetime, no body, no avatar, and you feel me, etc. But yes, with tattoos, right? When you're putting like, if you're getting an unk tattoo or you're getting symbol or just something that actually truly matters, right? If you're getting a tattoo that actually truly has an actual deep meaning, especially a spiritual meaning, and you are connected to it, right? It can help guide you, right? And I'm not gonna get too deep into the tattoos and all that stuff because I think I made a YouTube video breaking down tattoos and decoding tattoos. And this isn't the main topic of this live, but I'm glad I did touch base on tattoos in this live. But getting back to the more maybe so to the maybe so more to the unks, right? Maybe so the Trinity, right? The thing is with the Trinity, right? The Trinity, right? It's different energy, right? What's up, Logan? Now look, right, with the Trinity, right? I'm gonna give another example of the Trinity, right? The Trinity, if you've seen the movie The Matrix, right? And the spoilers, by the way, the movie The Matrix, right? There's 4 movies so far about The Matrix. I wouldn't be too surprised if they came out with a 5th movie, right? If they do make another movie, they'll probably stop at maybe either a 6th movie, a 5th movie, or maybe a 9th movie. That's what I'll say. Maybe so. Maybe so. But with Neo, right? Notice how the woman that he loved, right? Her name was what? Trinity, right? It's a reason why her name was called Trinity. It's a reason why Neo's name is called Neo, right? It all has a spiritual meaning to it. What a lot of people don't realize is your name, right? It's supposed to have a meaning to it. If your name doesn't have a meaning to it, you could put a spell on yourself, and now it might seem very difficult. It might seem very hard to figure out what your purpose is, or you're doing things that you think you want to do, but in actuality, in real times, you don't really want to do these things. But because it's hard for you to remember your purpose, right? Because you have this name, right? It's very imperative to be mindful of your name, right? You see what I'm saying?